come in here?
It's not about consumer goods or spiritual values. You can actually have both. It's about a balance. And my own school is famous for teaching well-being. And that is helping people understand that a good life, a meaningful life, a fulfilling life is not about watching lots of programs and earning lots of cash, and that's the only thing that makes you valuable in life.
Because there is 20 grand a year. Because there is... It's all very well to buy that. You can buy that well-being lesson at your school.
You're actually trivialising a really important argument.
I don't think I am.
Fine, can I carry on?
You can carry on.
Thank you. What we're saying is that children everywhere deserve to have a right to learn how to live a good life, and that means obviously that you have consumer goods, but you also learn how to use your body and your mind and your emotions well. You learn how to live. At the moment in our schools we chuck people up with lots of A's or B's or C's, and we think somehow we've educated people. We haven't. We need to educate people. The schools need to be about teaching people how to live a good life, a meaningful life, a life that's good to other people as well as just yourselves. And we know that money does not equal happiness, and that's the kind of message kids get from the media and everywhere.
Adita, are you quite minimalist?
Yes, I am.
Well,
actually.
Minimalism comes at a price.
Yes, it does. This is exactly what I was going to say. There are two ways of looking at this argument. There's the bourgeois way, which is that we, in a very privileged society...
Bourgeois? I haven't heard that word for a few years.
I know. In a very privileged society, can afford to have a debate about what would happen if we gave away all our stuff, all the stuff that we do have, the books, the clothes, the ephemera, whatever it is. And then there's a much deeper, broader, big picture question, which someone else mentioned, about, not about greed, but about surplus. We live in an extremely painfully unequal world. We live in a world where in one country the carbon footprint, the consumer footprint, whatever it is, far outweighs those of billions of people in other countries. So in a sense it's our privilege to even be able to sit there and go, oh yes, I felt so much purer once I gave away my collection of, you know, Shakespeare special bounty. Yes, Take That album, sorry, yes.
You said Shakespeare, I said Take That album. That says it all, doesn't it?
It's our privilege to be able to do that. We must recognise that there are literally billions of people in the world who don't even have the basis to talk about how good it is to give something up.
Peter.
This is a religious question, and it's a question of where your hopes are fixed. Lay not up for yourselves treasure upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. It's the injunction. If you have no hopes outside material life and outside your own life, then in the end you will find yourself having nothing else to look forward to but the next holiday or the consumer goods that you amass, and heaven is Las Vegas. If that's what you want, that's what you can have. This is Sunday. I thought I might mention that there is an alternative to this.
But the churches have always been full of...
Not much enthusiasm, but heck, there never was.
Well, no, we were just chilled by the phrase, heaven is Las Vegas.
Well, that's what you get if that's what we carry on going this way.
You absolutely don't. I mean, of course, religion one of its many roles was that every Sunday, lots of people, rich and poor, aspiring and failed, sat in front of a vicar who said it doesn't matter about material stuff. And they went out, and some made money and were good with it, and some made it and wasted it. And, I mean, the point here is that we have to understand that affluence is a huge opportunity which we should be grabbing with both hands and enjoying, but understanding that from it we can be selfish with it, generous with it, we can endow art
responsible with it.
No, not necessarily, or just buy a yacht if that's what really turns you on.
Or spend 800 quid on a handbag. Or
what we're going to do with it.
Jasper, sorry, Jasper.
Instead of going to church, you can come and see my show, and you can see art, which is the new religion.
Plug. That's just
very modest as well. Very modest.
That's commercialism, and it's very ugly.
I think you'll find my paintings quite uplifting.
If downsizing is freeing up space and time and for relationships and so on, the question is what we do with it. And I think that's why it was a good question to you. Because we see churches, we see individuals all around the world who are making a difference. And maybe if we did live more simply, if we had the time as much as the money to focus on some of the issues facing the human race, and we gave ourselves to that, we might be able to make a difference in the world.
Jeremy, you were going to say something.
Well, somebody mentioned the word happiness, and there is actually, in fact, a branch of psychology which studies happiness. And they come up with figures, like, for instance, based on our currency, that an income of greater than, say, £15,000 or £20,000 a year does not buy you further happiness. Obviously, an income of less will make you relatively unhappy.
Well, there we have to leave it. All the debates continue on our message board. Join us next week from York. Goodbye from everyone here in Enfield. Have a very, very good Sunday, whether you go out and buy anything or just give your things away. See you soon.